So we're going to talk about the Seller Suite, a huge release. As we rolled out the Seller Suite, we got a lot of feedback, and so we worked to iterate on that. But we also have done a lot of other stuff, right? So let's get right to it. The first thing we want to make sure, as a reminder, we have released, so MaverickRE.com is it's a sister company to Ylopo. And we've lifted out one of the features of Maverick for free for Ylopo customers. And that is the pipeline alerts. There are 19 rules that Maverick is analyzing inside of Follow Up Boss. Rules like the lead called your agent and your agent didn't call the lead back. Kind of important stuff that unfortunately happens on my team. They're amazing and they work really hard. Some of them are watching right now, but sometimes they don't call their leads back. And so if you have not signed up for this, it's absolutely free. You make sure you want to sign up, contact your CSM if you haven't gotten anything. And if you have already signed up and you have not received an email, it could be because you don't have any alerts. I did hear somebody that is just really good in their database.
Come on.
Well, they didn't map their stages, so half of the rules that talk about, like you didn't call your hot lead.
Bad.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's great. And I think these have started going out already. I know we've been working on it. We'll probably be making some adjustments to this and iterations, but it's all about just kind of uncovering the opportunities, and we all have, right? We all have them. We're looking for them. In fact, I was on a call with one of my team leads right before this, getting the report to find something that she come across somebody that had missed a bunch of hand raisers that had come in. I'm like, there's a rule for that in the report. So we're just trying to help uncover a lot of that, because that's how we take our businesses to that next level.
Yeah, exactly. And I would say, if you need training on it, come to office hours on Wednesdays with the Realtor in Residence team. We can go deep on it. But I'll just tell you guys, I used to obsessively go into Follow Up Boss with this kind of anxious disposition of what did we miss. Those days are gone. Maverick has programmatically became a lead manager in a box. And so there's three things I really like about Maverick, but the pipeline alert is definitely the one that moves the needle financially for me the most. Well, there's two, but that's definitely one of them. So
yeah, this just goes to the team lead, right? So I want to make sure, and I think we got a couple of members of our CS team to answer some of these, but Mark was asking, the pipeline alerts are just going to the team leader, I believe. So it is not going to all the agents on your team. So this is
no,
the
no, that would be a hot mess. No, absolutely. That they would be managing themselves. It's like herding cats. No, it goes to the admin. So we're going to go over major, significant, and incredible enhancements to the Seller Suite. We're also going to be going over some new seller lead generation that we've been testing that we think you should know about, and then also new Diva, and then a few other things regarding AI that we want to go over as well. So we're still working on continuing to improve engagement, right? So there is a seller landing page that the registration went up 83%. And the email open rate went up by 50% with these changes. So we're talking about before and after these changes, right? And so now your seller, if you don't know where the seller landing page is, contact your CSM, because you all have it. And it's a page that you can just send out to your database. And with the new update to the funnel, we're getting more people inputting their information, right? And that's the end of the day. That's what's super important. And when you look at the two, it's subtly different, right? And the results have been pretty phenomenal. All right.
Sorry, I was grabbing links for people.
The overall stats, 17% of the leads engaged on the seller report. So this is that equity report that goes out. And so that's significant, right? These are homeowners, and we are sending content to homeowners, right? That's the seller alert. I've uploaded every homeowner in my database to that seller alert, and they're getting how much equity they have. They're getting how many buyers my database has for their house right now. That's not information you can find anywhere else on the internet. And so this is working, guys. 17%. What's that?
And what's hard sometimes, I think, to get across is like how much time we've spent obsessing on this in meetings, and like we'll sometimes spend 30, 45 minutes just talking about what almost seems like the silliest things. Like where a box
Oh,
is, or
yeah.
color, or is this a dial or a slider, and is all those things. But then we're monitoring this and watching this, and it's been really exciting. One, as working on the product, but also having teams and thousands and thousands of leads in the database receiving these, to see this number go up. So this is a great area. When you're seeing this, obviously we all want more sellers, but this would be a great area. A lot of us team leads are looking for things to talk about in our office meetings, in our sales meetings, or one-on-ones, whatever it is. If you have not spent the time, even though we've done a lot of webinars, pull up one of these reports in your office meetings, in a huddle, whatever you call it, and go through it and really understand this. Because when you and your team members really understand the different compartments, the different parts of this report, that's getting this almost 18% increase engagement, it makes it so much easier to respond to it and reach out. Because it's great if we're getting more engagement, but it doesn't make you money unless you're understanding how to reach out, when to reach out, and what to say when you're reaching out. So please grab those reports and go over them with your team and really understand how they're working, so that you are getting the benefits of the 17.6% increase in engagement.
Right. And so not only are they engaging more, but when they click on it, we've increased the number of homeowners that are saying, hey, can you call me about this? Right. So these iterative updates that Gabe is mentioning that we've obsessed about, they're working. Right. And that's the big idea here. So we have invested in a new data source for the automated valuation. The new AVM source is considered to be the leader in automated systems across the country. It's a product called House Canary. We've purchased their data, and it consistently is being updated. And we went back and forth on exactly how to handle this. And what we decided is that with a multitude of data, let's allow the homeowner to see more than one value. And so on this report that you're seeing right now, you actually see three. You see let's start at the one on the bottom, the 1.204 data powered by ATTOM. Then you see another one, which is data powered by House Canary. And then you see a third. And so what we've done is you've got two automated values. And if you decide to throw your data in the mix, you can give your own value as well. And then there's verbiage on this document that it's kind of like a cover your tail, right? These are automated systems. This is an automated value. We're providing multiple to give you different opportunities to see what the market is saying about your house. But for a specific update on your home value, contact me, right, Gabe?
Yeah, this is a great idea of what's going on and the reasons why to reach out, because there are people updating their own values. We're giving you different ones, and you can see the spread on here, right? And that's a good thing. We've heard you loud and clear. We've all known for years these are off when we're getting third-party data. Let's get more than one or two then, so we can see the variations. You can put your own in there, but this gives you those talking points to speak to, so that they need you to help understand and to not be upset with the number. There are only one number that's coming through. So really excited to see how this even gets that number up quite a bit higher and how they're coming from.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we know from looking at the data that homeowners appropriately are very focused on what their home value is. We also know that sometimes when the automated value is not what they wanted, they take it out on you. And so we said, oh, really? Okay, let's give them more numbers, right? So that what you're doing is you're basically saying, I'm going to give you a multitude of data points so that you can see, but to help you dispel the confusion of all the home data and the home values, I'm going to give you more than one option. And when it's confusing for you, that's why I'm here, right? So this should solve a lot of the dilemmas some of us were facing with the home reports. But look, it's never going to be as good as you. This isn't meant to replace you. It's meant to be a springboard for a conversation. But by having more than one data point, you're going to actually increase your value proposition, because I feel like most homeowners, especially like, look at this one, 1.2 million versus 1.4. I don't know about y'all, but 200 grand's a lot of money. This allows you to come into the mix and to say, here's why I'm relevant for you today. Here's why the values are a little bit different. So it should be a huge win for all of you.
Yeah, great question from Renee on that.
Yeah.
If you don't put in that, it'll still have the other two, right? So that's only going to show if you do it, right? So it's not going to show blank. or any of that. It's just if you put that in. So it's completely optional if you want to get that put in.
Yeah, I mean, and personally, I don't know how, unless I really know the client, I'm probably not going to take the time to update the value on my own. That's just my personal preference. But we also know that all of you have different business models, so totally makes sense. We've added a new call to action on the document on this seller alert. And this is an example of it in the top right corner. It's now going to offer an opportunity to get a cash offer. And they click that button, they submit their info, and then you have the opportunity to call them and say, I can get you a cash offer for your home. And the good news is, if you don't have an institutional investor in your back pocket, if you're a Ylopo customer, which some are on here, some aren't, you get Zoodealio for free as a Ylopo customer. That's anywhere from $300 to $600 a month to subscribe to their platform. And now your equity report that you're sending to homeowners now has a plug that allows you to sell the home via cash. And this is a big win for your database.
This is massive, guys. We've been working on this. Where do we place it? We're still playing around with some placement on this to test, see where we get the best engagement. This just got released. It was yesterday or the day before, but like in the last 24, 48 hours. On here is the tag. I would recommend right now, take a screenshot of this, whatever you need to do to make sure you go get this added to any of your smart lists. So if you have seller specific smart lists, you want to get that. I added this to my hand raiser list because to me, this is a seller hand raiser. This goes front and center right into the hand raiser list. So please make sure that you're getting that added. If you don't have one in your database yet, you can manually create this. Just make sure that it is case sensitive, everything's exact. That way you have it on a test lead. So when the next one comes in, you can add that to your smart list. But if you have not signed up for Zoodealio, we do trainings, I think it's every other week now with their team. I don't know if you heard Barry, this was zero cost if you're a Ylopo client already to get Zoodealio for your entire team to have these cash offer options for all of your sellers. This has been a game changer for us, getting in more doors, talking about the listings and zero cost. And the team has incredible support for this, training every couple of weeks. So please get signed up on this, especially now that the cash offer call to action is in the seller report going out automatically. This is a no-brainer.
Yeah, and this is where, to me, this kind of update is it's just really interesting because Gabe and I and Matt are working with the product team directly, and we said to him, it's like, look, I don't want a cash offer blurb on this equity report that says, hey, agents suck. I'm obviously using an extreme example. Hey, agents suck. Don't work with them. Sell your house cash, save some time, right? I'm sending this to my database. I don't want to look bad. So if you look at the copy we're using, we're basically saying, hey, I can offer you some options for flexibility and convenience, right? And Zoodealio, you get 3% on the purchase. Zoodealio buys a house and you get 3%.
2 and 2.
2 and 2, sorry, 2 and 2, 2% and 2%. You get the listing on the back end, right? So you're making money on the front end of the back end. And you guys are going to watch me leverage the Zoodealio platform over the next 3 to 6 months. I'll be dusting off my microphone and doing some recording prospecting calls for you guys on how to leverage this. But now you guys can offer cash offers to your database at scale with this product. Upload your database, email your account manager and say, I want everyone that has a home address in my CRM getting this equity report and sent out. I like every 90 days personally, but you can do it more aggressively if you want. So scan that QR code.
And I don't want to spend too much time. I know we got a lot, but it's more than even just cash offers, right? Because they're fix it up and sell it later. There are sell it now, rent back for a year. There are so many different programs part of Zoodealio. It's just a no-brainer to do this. Somebody did ask a question before we move on. Yes, when you put in a value, going back to the valuation, when you do the one that you want in there, you do the estimated value and a high and low. So when you get this back, it is all three of those numbers that you can control. So you can do as big a span as you want and identify a number. So yes, you need to take the training, sign up for Zoodealio, but a good chunk of those programs, yes, you get paid twice because there's two closings. A closing up on their most popular programs, a closing up front where the seller gets a good chunk of their equity. And then the second seller, once it's fixed up or once the seller moves out and you are the listing agent and get the listing back, you get paid 2% on that as well. So all of that's into the programs and covered in training. So we can go a lot deeper on those on the Zoodealio training. But yes, you get paid on every one of them. I think that's a big hang up. Well, if it goes cash offer, I just lost my listing. No, you get paid. You still sell the home, all of that. So scan the QR code, at least do yourself a favor, get signed up and come learn about it.
It's free. Yeah, why not? And so I'll be calling that tag in the bottom left corner of this screen, Y_seller_cash_offer_ requested. It's a long tag. I'll be calling them. I'll just be saying, hey, this is Barry, Better Homes and Gardens. I represent an institutional investor. They'd love to make an offer on your home. They're buying properties in your neighborhood, and I'd love to initiate that process. And just bing, bang, bing, right? Just go, go, go. So easy win for you guys. The market trends data. Now, this was a big problem in some of your markets, the single family home versus condos, it changed the data a lot. And some of you are in markets that are condo heavy. And so now the market trends data can actually, there's a toggle on it to basically drill down on their specific needs as a homeowner. And so you're able to do that. And look, this market action index, it took me a while to figure it out. This data is super expensive. If you went to their website, Altos website right now, it's amazing, but it's like a couple $100 to a few $100 a month. And now I'm able to easily say to them, it's a seller's market. You can take advantage of this market. This data also works really well with your buyers, in the buyer presentation tool, but I digress. Improving the engagement points. If you see on the left, we had sliders. We recognized from the data that people didn't want to slide the numbers. They'd rather just input it. They're big numbers. They're really important. And we saw an increase in engagement in the calculator as a result of this.
Yeah, and these are all things we're monitoring. I like every little section. I think is why it's so important to just really understand what tags, what alerts are coming from what section. We're obsessed with them and watching these. This is one that kind of caught me by surprise. I thought the slider would be more popular, but people wanted to type it in. And we're seeing the same engagement, what's going on, and really interested in that equity. So
yeah. So when you guys have an issue or you're concerned about something, sending that data to us, because a couple of users raised their hand. They said, hey, my client would rather type it. And so we started to analyze the data. And I'm not saying we wouldn't have found it on our own, but we started to investigate the data and we were able to listen to our user base and make those changes quickly. So really cool stuff.
Yeah, another question real quick I want to get to. Sorry, just playing a little catch up. Market asked, hey, when we put in our own value on the report, does it stay that way? Does it automatically update? It will stay as the value you set, but there is an option when you do that to have Ylopo will remind you in 6 months to review the value and update it. So it will not change dynamically like the other ones will, but you have the option to have the system, have Ylopo send you a reminder to review that and update it. We did it every 6 months because values aren't changing that quick. If we go back to markets where they're changing quickly, we'll revisit that. But it is static until you change it, but you do get reminded by the system to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, keep your pulse on those questions because I can't see them.
Yeah.
All right. So we are testing a new design. And and so we're experimenting with a few different calls to action, a few different emails. Gabe and I have really advocated for a complete overhaul of the email deliverability system. We want more flexibility. We want more customizations. And so we've really challenged the product team, and they have listened, and they are working on several new ideas because we want people not only opening these emails, but clicking on them. And what Gabe and I have been doing for decades in our respective real estate businesses, the product team is listening to. And they're also taking your feedback, and they're doing a great job with these changes. All right.
I'm smiling right now, Barry. I'll show it here in a minute. I'm smiling because I was just pulling up this tag, and we've got one that came in on the cash offer yesterday, and then Raya hit it right off the bat, and she's confirming that her home is worth 2.2 to 2.4 million. It's one of our leads from 6 years ago.
Okay, so that's amazing.
Awesome.
That's amazing. So Josh, we've got, I don't know if you're able to unmute, but we've got some new pure seller leads. Not that the buyer seller leads are still buyers that have a home to sell are still my favorite, just to be candid with you guys. But we also recognize that some of you just want to buy seller leads. And so we've been working on new ways to generate those seller leads, and through several iterative changes. I don't know if you could just talk high level, Josh, about how you were able to reduce the 50 to 30. Was it a funnel change? Was it a marketing change? Was it both?
Sure. And hello, everyone.
Hey, Josh.
I guess there were two major changes, I think. I know everyone's kind of familiar with the buy sell leads, but home values are still a pretty popular option. I think, especially as interest rates come down, more people are searching for that value to see if it's kind of the right time to sell. So we've been working on the Google side to update kind of where the ads are showing. Traditionally your ads have shown on Google search for, like a text ad or something like that. But we've expanded. Google has a number of other partner sites outside the web where someone that has seller intent could potentially see your ad. Maybe they've searched a keyword before, even if it's not right at this moment. So with some of those placements, we've been able to reduce the cost per home value lead a pretty significant amount, from about $50 on average to $30 on average. We've also made some pretty cool changes to the seller experience. We've updated the sign-up forms, probably small changes if you've seen the experience before. We just kind of focused it a little bit. We've learned a lot from our dynamic reg sign-up and all of the sign-up forms we use for our buy-sell leads. So taking some of those best practices and kind of porting them over to our seller experience. So some new ad placements, some new tech on the sign-up form. But overall, we've been able to make some incremental gains on each one that have added up to a pretty substantial cost decrease for home value. So, we love buy sell leads. We want home value to be able to be in the mix for markets where it makes sense.
And Josh, what's your title at Ylopo again?
I'm director of media strategy.
Yeah,
but
so
we're super close.
I call him my marketing mercenary. The guy's a freaking genius. Him and G get in the lab and they study this stuff. So really, really great work on these pure seller leads. Really excited about that. So, and I'll probably ping you in another second, Josh, on some of this. But
real quick, Barry, I'm also throwing a few people had asked. I'm going to throw a Zendesk article in chat. It does go to all of the tags. A lot of questions about the tags, not just the new cash offer tag. That one is getting added to this article because, again, we just released this, but all the other tags for those sections that Barry and I were just talking about are in the article in addition to others. So I was getting some messages about the tag. So that is on the chat.
Okay. Awesome. So as I was just saying, buy sell leads, right? They've been optimized to produce 36% of the leads. So 36% of the buyers that we're generating on social media have a home to sell and need to sell it. And on average, Facebook is about $5 cheaper than Google. And Josh, I know I'm already pinging you, but I think a lot of people that are on this call, we've, for years have really said that Google is much better than Facebook, but it sounds like to me that some markets, that's not always the case. Is that a good summary, you think?
It's not. And I think that's because of, a number of changes we've made on marketing side. In the past, your Facebook leads have often just given you sign up info like email, phone number, and name. And oftentimes that information is automatically added onto a Facebook form. They were scrolling their feed, saw a listing that looked good. And when they click on that listing, their contact info would automatically fill up into those fields. So it's pretty seamless. They kind of just click a submit button without too much thought. They go right to your website. Now we're sending them to your website before they actually sign up, which means they're seeing our normal registration forms that ask a number of qualifying questions before they actually give you their contact info. A few of those are on the slide here as examples, but we get a number of their buyer signals, things like bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, but we've also been trying to find the right mix of seller questions. How do we find out which of your buyers actually have to sell either before they buy, or do they own a home and maybe need to sell later? So I think through some changes on the sign-up form, we've been able to increase the quality of our Facebook leads. And in a lot of markets, they're cheaper than PPC. So with that quality increase, it can really be beneficial for you.
So the takeaway here is really, getting with your marketing person and saying, hey, is social right for me in my market? I want seller leads based on the data that you have. Which route should I go if I want these seller leads on social, these buy sell leads? Because the genius of the Ylopo funnel is the answers kind of adapt to the consumer's answers. The questions have been layered. I mean, I don't even know, hundreds of hours of time, the order of the questions and how it impacts. But the consumer doesn't feel like they're trading their personal information to get access to your listings or your data. They feel like they're having a conversation with your website, which is why we're able to get 7 to 22 questions getting answered when we get these leads to register. It's still, we are still the leader in website registration for real estate markets across the country. So really exciting stuff.
Hey, Josh, got a couple questions for you in there. So somebody was asking, has Facebook changed their parameters in regards to radius?
Fortunately, they have not. We still have the minimum of 15 miles, so that is a Facebook setting. But of course, we can do our best to work within that to try to find the best quality in that radius.
No worries. And then is it possible to change the image in the ad, or does that image change automatically based on that person's ad so that it matches more the estimated value?
So the listings they would normally see in a Facebook ad would come from MLS. So I believe those photos are pulled directly from the listings on the website. If you want to maybe create an ad for a specific listing or show off specific photos, I would get in touch with our marketing team and see what the best option is there.
Yeah, and let me just say, in this example, that is not necessarily a house that I would normally brand myself next to. No, nothing wrong with the house, but it's not a beautiful house. But in this example, the lead, this is the type of home the lead was looking for. That's the genius, right? We're trusting the Facebook algorithm to find the right house for their consumer behavior, what they're looking at on our website. And so we want to use the right bait to catch the right fish. And so if you just decide what you think everyone wants to see, that's not a misstep, but you really need to have a deep conviction that you're making the right move. I've always tended to just trust. Facebook has so much data about their users that I really want to trust the algorithm more than I do just my own instincts. So not a right or a wrong thing, but take heed when you do that, because it could really waste a lot of money.
Yep.
All right. So all types of seller lead generation works best when we can target a minimum 25-mile radius. So whether it's Google or Facebook, and of course, the higher population areas, there's more people. So it's going to lower the cost per lead, and as always, the big asterisk, second home / vacation markets, there's a higher percentage out of area addresses. So if you do have a primarily vacation market, speak with the marketing representative. Josh, you're smiling when I say that. Why are you smiling?
It's an unfortunate consequence when people are traveling or you've got a second home that's not necessarily where you're living right now or where you're located. If you happen to maybe be in Florida and you've got your second home up north or in North Carolina, maybe where I live, then chances are you could be entering the address for your Florida property while you're located in North Carolina or vice versa. So, certainly if that does occur, definitely meet with the marketing team. We've got a few checks that we can make. It's not perfect, but we'll do our absolute best to try to exclude all of the non-local addresses from your seller leads.
So if you want to do a marketing consultation around these really interesting topics, go ahead and scan that QR code. There's not a fee for this consultation. This is already a part of what you're paying for as being a Ylopo customer. And I have a rhythm with the marketing team, both Josh and Violet. Violet is running the Facebook side. Josh, of course, is more high level strategy. But they both have been insanely valuable in my personal business. So make sure you're meeting with these people. It's a part of what you're already paying for. And real estate's hyper local. So every market's a little different and the nuances are important.
Sweet.
All right. One click turns an MLS listing into a full-blown AI diva video. So this is pretty remarkable. You're now able to take still photos and turn it into a video ad with this tool. And, you know, we're really excited about it because, you know, in this listing, we put in the MLS number, it pulls the, oops, let me go back up. So you put in the MLS number, right? You click find listing, it finds the photos for you, right? So there's the photos, and then it does something like this. So I just realized I might not be sharing optimized for sound. So I'm going to stop sharing for a second just to avoid the annoying oops. All right.
And we'll back up. I got another couple messages. We'll back up to that QR code in just a minute. We'll let Barry get through this video first, and then
Where did Google Chrome go? There it is. Are you guys see it?
If you hit refresh on that one, Barry, actually, real quick, since you're there, and go on down. I got that other one back in there.
Great. All right. Presenter view. Oh, geez. Okay, here we go. All right, so let's play these. Still photos. This gives you the ability to make a walkthrough like video ad with a click of a button, pulling photos from your MLS. Game changer, guys. This is phenomenal technology. Here's another example. You get the idea, but you know, the rub here, guys, is that not all of us have the time or the resources to do walkthrough videos of our listings, right? And so to be able to leverage AI to take still photos in a way that makes it look like a walkthrough, just, I mean, candidly, it's quite remarkable. And you know,
oh, sorry, Barry.
Go ahead, Gabe. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just talking about, I mean, the trips to send somebody back out, or again, just depending on what we're doing time-wise or something that's been sitting, you've got the photos to bring in a different perspective and a different type of marketing. All of this is done from the photos that you've got. Oh, I just saw somebody's face pop in.
What's up, guys?
Hey,
sorry, I'm in Phoenix today. My bad.
Oh man, G Money.
I'm a world traveler, man.
I know.
I have trips every week this week. So thank you, Gabe and Barry, for articulating this so well.
Oh, dude, Josh, the whole team came through as usual. We got Elle, we got Josh, we got Violet, we got Kiwi. You know, we're a team here, right?
Awesome.
All right, well, I'll keep sharing.
Well, it was perfect timing because there's some questions on the videos, like are there branded and unbranded versions and options for people if they're doing these?
And voiceovers.
Yeah. So all of that is coming. We're going to start basic, which is a replacement for think of it as a diva, but it has the same branding, all that kind of stuff. But we understand that there's a lot of utility around this product. So based on your guys' feedback, we're going to adjust, right? So one of the things that we're doing is we can basically give you every frame of these videos. So they're about 3-second clips, right? And we can give you each frame, and you can build your own Instagram stories based on that, right? You can download all of these videos. Yeah. So we see this, frankly, as the ultimate version of video ads, right? Yeah. Like it doesn't get better than 3D, right? And so, we're going to do a lot with this product. You're going to see a lot of investment on our side to make this really sing. And I think Barry's going to show you the next evolution of this technology that we're working on now. Our goal is to get you guys this diva ad in the next week or so, right? So this is not going to happen in months. This is very soon. And, you know, it's going to be $95 with media. You know, we've heard from clients that's the right price you guys want to spend per listing. And you can now tell all of your clients you do a 3D walkthrough with them, essentially. You know, for your first 3D tour Diva, we're actually going to give you a 50% discount. We want everyone to try it. So it's only going to be $50, right? So we'll email you in your daily emails as soon as the 3D tour is available. And I just encourage all of you guys to try it. You know, it's kind of crazy because, you know, I have not seen one bad 3D tour Diva, you know, because the photos that you guys take are good photos, right? Like the videos you saw, one of them was a $350,000 listing. One of them was a $2 million listing. Both turned out really well, right? And so, you know, I think that for higher end listings, obviously, if you want to run it as an ad format, like this is better than Matterport, right? Because, you know, you take a Matterport video, you got to chop it into individual pieces to make it 30 seconds. We can do that automatically. But where I think this has massive utility is for your run-of-the-mill homes that you are not going to do a 3D tour for, you're not going to spend $500, $1,000 to do. Now you can go in confidently and say you're going to do this for all of your listings, right? For, you know, not a lot of money, right? And we give you beautiful reporting on top of this, etc., to make your clients feel very special from a marketing perspective, right?
Well, I think that's a big part of this, right? Is giving some additional options, right? If you've got whatever luxury listing and you want to do your Matterport, not that you can't do that. We're saying this is another option that is going to be a lot less expensive that you can now scale on additional or all of your listings to put into your listing presentation to offer on everything with the reporting. And there was a couple questions on this, G. If it's not live, and I've seen this in new construction come up a few times, but is there still the option to have the team create one for an off-market property? So you at least have the video with the still photos.
Not right now. Has to be on the MLS. Yeah.
And when is this going to be live?
About a week or so. We're going to test tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys will start seeing emails from us. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. All right. Let me get back to sharing. We're not done. We are not done. Oh, all right. We already saw that one. All right.
Who's driving?
So we are, you know, you've got a beautiful set of reporting that you're able to do. And a lot of users don't know this, but when you run a Diva listing rocket, there is some really great reporting that I've instructed my agents to use. And the concept behind it is you want to show your homeowner how you're crushing it with advertising. And I just realized, G, you're here. So do you want to drive?
Yeah. Well, we provide, and this is, by the way, when you run a Diva, right? So 95% of our clients are not going to mission control anymore to run a listing rocket Diva ad. You know, we send you an email every time you have a new listing, and you get that email, you know, pretty much every day, and it has a one-click button to start a Diva, right? And so that's how most people are running Divas today. And this is just going to be a new format, super easy, press a button, you're running it, right? What we're also doing, if you haven't run a Diva before, is the next day after you run a Diva, your email is going to include a link at the very top to this report that you are seeing on your screen, right? You just copy, paste it, send it to your client. That's all you need to do, right? And so we're making it really easy to show your homework, right? Tell your seller, like, here's all the activity I'm doing. Here's all the videos I'm doing. And there's a lot more that comes with this report. You know, Barry and Gabe are working on a massive revamp to this because we have so much more cool stuff to show, right? Yeah. But, you know, clients love this report. You know, your clients will love this report, and it really kind of shows your homework, and we make it very easy and effective to do, right? And, you know, I saw a couple comments on costs here, just so you guys know, this is not a extra Ylopo platform fee. You are just paying for this on a per listing basis, right? So we're basically going to spend the dollars on running the ads for you. And so it's a separate media budget, if you want to think of it that way, on a per listing basis.
Well, yeah. And look, you know, so we run a lot of listing rockets on our team, and it generates leads. And the tag is the address that's generated. Also, there's a listing_rocket tag as well that's added to the lead. And so you are going to get leads when you run the listing rocket. And the reporting actually shows that. This document and the one we're working on is going to show the homeowner that you've generated leads for the house. For my team, we've found that while the leads are a little bit more expensive than a standard lead from social, the fact that they looked at a walkthrough video of the house, went through the registration process, answering like 7 different questions about their search parameters and their intention to buy, we found it's actually a really high quality lead. We still do exposure as the option. There's 2 options, exposure or leads, but when we do exposure, we still get leads. So we look good to the homeowner, and my agents are getting really good leads off of one specific house. So keep in mind, you know, it is cool. It's going to look good to your seller, but you're also going to get some great leads in the process.
Yeah. And when it comes to this report too, somebody was asking, you control who gets this report, right? So as the agent, you've got the link to this, so you can send it out. It's a live link they can refresh, or you can keep it. We're working into practice to where each week we're sending the link again with like a bomb or a video loom talking about the different results. So they're seeing and hearing from us and have a copy of the report and have any questions. And what's nice about that is you're using data, G said, showing your homework. So if you are getting to the point where a lot of markets, we're seeing more price reductions than we have, it's really educating and keeping them prepared. So they're not just hearing from you when you want to call and get the price reduction. You're showing how many people are seeing the ads, watching the video, asking questions. All of that is what's showing that you're doing your job, marketing and advertising the home. At the end of the day, that's what they are hiring us to do, is to advertise and market their home. Mm-hmm. And now you're able to show not dozens or hundreds, but the thousands of people that you're getting those photos, the video ads and everything in front of to get it out.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. This next one's really cool. I'm really excited about that. That was cool. All this has been cool so far. I think this one's really neat.
Yeah. So let me set this up, right? So the video that you saw before is just taking the photos of the MLS, pressing a button, and now you have a 3D tour, 30 seconds long advertisement that you are showing on social media, you're posting on social media, you're doing all of this stuff, right? Now, the second use of this technology is dollhouse for the MLS, right? Walk through the home. And in the past, that process has been, you know, $500 Matterport, you buy a $1,500 camera, you spend 3 hours recording the house and all of this stuff, right? With the advance of AI technology, we are able to simplify this into a very easy process. So this video that you're about to see, and just fast forward through it, Barry, is one of our engineers recording his apartment with an iPhone camera, right? This is not new iPhone camera. I think this is like an iPhone 13. Go ahead and show the video. So this is our engineer walking through his apartment. He's just using a phone. He's making sure he gets every corner of his, you know, house, right? This, you can see here, this is a 3-minute and 31-second video of his house, right? He's just using a standard phone. He's walking through his kitchen, his bedroom, so on and so forth, right? So Barry, you want to show the next video?
Yeah.
And to be clear, just because it took me a couple times seeing this, G, to be clear, he went through just doing it like haphazard. This was not like trying to be a professional, like on a gimbal, any of this crap. Like he's just going through. So when you're looking at that, no, that was intentionally just walking through with a cell phone.
Yeah. And then we turn this into a full dollhouse of your home.
It's a Matterport quality.
It's a Matterport.
Yeah.
Right. And you're right. The camera can shake, you know, it can have, you know, different quality blemishes. Obviously, lighting is a big factor here, right? This was a little dimly lit. But bottom line is you could probably walk through an entire house in like 15 minutes of source video, upload it into our backend. We're going to give you a full dollhouse for a fraction of the cost of what you would do with a Matterport, right? And so, you know, when you're doing social promotion, great, you know, run our Diva ads. When you want to show something to the MLS or to agents, instead of doing an expensive Matterport type production, get a 3 to 5 minute source video, plug it in here, and we'll give you a full dollhouse.
Well, and I have 2 Matterport cameras in my office. They were like 10 grand each. And the reason why we do Matterport on all of our listings is we're able to provide a link, and the leads can virtually walk through the property, right? They click, oh, I want to look at that room. They click on it and it takes them into that room. And so now that I've said that, that's what he's doing here, right? He's clicking in different parts of his house. This is not a walkthrough video. This is him clicking in different parts, going through the house because of clicks. And it's pretty fascinating that we've been able to programmatically solve what's normally a $500, $600 per Matterport listing. So yeah, really big deal.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're, this is probably later in Q4, still imperfections to this technology we're working out, so we're starting with the 3D tour divas. You're going to get that very, very soon. And then we're building out the portal structure to do this, right? And the other thing we're building out, toward the end of Q4, maybe early Q1, is right now this technology is only accessible to the administrator, right? To the team leader, and you're getting billed for this, etc. You can build your your agents for it, but you have to, all of this runs through your bill, right? We're building out a portal for all of your agents, right? So your agents will be able to get notified when one of their listings comes to the market, and they're able to go into our portal, and they're going to be able to put down their own credit card and run divas and download 3D tours, etc. themselves, right? So that's the next step we want to work on, is to make sure this is accessible to, essentially anyone on the team, anyone in the brokerage, etc.
And they get the link for this, right? So that was a question. I think somebody typed it in, but I think it was a good question to ask for everybody. When you do this, this is the link that you'll have to the finished product, just like it was a dollhouse or something like that, that you get, that you can either put for your tour in MLS or share wherever you want to. They have access to that link.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Let's
Cool.
see. I'm trying to stop it and go.
So yeah, excited for you guys to have access to it. Again, just run it once, right? See what it looks like, see if it's impressive, right? It's going to perform better from an ads perspective because 3D is better than 2D, right? And so you're going to get more exposure for this home anyways, in terms of, dollar for dollar, you're going to get more bang for the buck. One of the reasons we built it. And I think it's just a great tool to win your listings.
Well,
Okay.
and with marketing, guys, like we're all like, oh, this is so cool. I can save money on Matterport, but like this only matters to the degree that you can sell it to your client, right? So if I go on a listing appointment, I'm able to add, we're going to do a Matterport style, dollhouse style walkthrough of your home. It's proven to increase engagement of buyer leads by X%, right? That's how I'm going to win the business. So if you and I were up against the same seller, I'm going to list all of these marketing tools that Ylopo is going over. I'm not going to say Ylopo because they don't know what Ylopo is, right? I'm actually just going to talk about, I've hired the most advanced digital marketing firm in the industry to help make sure your listing gets in front of as many buyers as possible. Here's how we're going to do it, right? So I'm going to leverage these releases as a member of the Ylopo community to help convert my listing appointments. That's why I'm going to win all of my listing appointments, because marketing is all about setting yourself apart. And that's what these tools do.
All right. And let's face it, right? We do have more competition right now. We're getting, it's a different market than it was a year ago and all that. And we are already getting some callbacks from people who listed with somebody else or went a different direction that didn't sell. And literally listening to the calls, what are you going to do different than my other agent? What are you doing to market? Right. So I really want to make sure people are looking at this and looking at all the different tools and putting them into some sort of book, some sort of like, this is our plan. This is what we're doing, because, we're not listing them and in 2 hours getting 25 offers, 100 grand over asking price like we were a year ago, at least not in my market. So,
all right, we got like 6 minutes.
All right.
Okay. All right, cool. Just some updates on AI voice that you're going to start seeing if you're an AI voice customer. We are rolling out call detail summaries. One of the biggest requests our clients have is what happened on the call with AI, right? You want to see it. So we're going to start giving you a call outcome note that summarizes the entire conversation going forward, so you know exactly what was talked about with the lead from an AI voice perspective as it comes in. Next slide.
By the way, if you're not an AI voice customer, like 400, 500, 300, I don't know, the plans change based on your plan. It calls your leads 90 days, 14 times, and it's transferring about 10% of my conversations right now. So if you're not doing it, like it's a game changer. So make sure you're adding that into your repertoire.
For disconnected numbers or wrong numbers now, we automatically tag those people, and our bad phone number workflow works. So we're asking them for their contact information as soon as they come back from the site. So now all of your bad numbers that comes through are automatically propositioned for new numbers as well. And then AI voice will start calling them again, right? So we're starting to close the loop.
Yeah, I can't get my agents to do this. If the lead says bad number, wrong number, getting them to tag the lead bad number has always been a problem. So the fact that a robot's going to do it for my business, I'm so excited. And that prompt crushes. People do give new numbers because the next time they come to the website, the lead gets a pop-up that says, "We need your correct number." And it definitely works.
So we are rolling out multiple ponds, right? So right now, if you have you know, like leads in multiple areas, all of them need to be aggregated together in one pond. We are now splitting that out so that we can use multiple ponds to work AI voice, right? And what this is going to enable is if you're in multiple territories, we're able to work leads in each market. And also, we're going to be able to work your Zillow and your Realtor and your other sources as well, right? Because they'll be all in multiple ponds. And this is the infrastructure that is set up to work your database, right? Which we'll talk about in a future webinar. But we are live testing AI database now, with soon to be millions of leads, right?
Yeah.
And so, that's our, big release in Q4. I won't spoil it when it's ready, but we're seeing massive success there. And I think this is an enabling technology for that. Keep
Yeah, I
going.
mean, I think a lot of teams separate their Zillow and their Ylopo leads from different teams and agents, so that'll be a game changer for them.
You're able to customize all of the calling hours to match your business now. So based on your parameters on every single day, we will be able to adjust your calling window. Keep going. AI database, this is going to be our big release again in Q4, right? What we're testing out right now is when do we text? When do we call? And what we're seeing is out of 100 old leads in your database that could be years old, we're getting 2 live connections out to your agent for every 100 leads, right? So if you have 1,000 leads in your pool, we're going to be calling them. You're going to get 20 live transfers, right? And so take that to scale. Most of you guys have thousands of leads in your database. We're going to be able to drive live transfers. You already pay for these leads, right? So these are going to be very cost effective to work within your database. There's no way you're going to have an ISA that can do, or agents that will call these leads consistently as we are. And it's taken a long time to release this product because of all of the infrastructure requirements to call millions of leads a month, but we've finally gotten there. And as soon as we beat it up and prove it out with some beta customers, we're going to be paying you guys to test out the product. Keep going. Yeah. AI squared improvements. We're basically tying text and voice together really closely. Depending on how consumers respond when they're asking for a call, we're from text, we're gonna call them, and vice versa. Based on the call itself, we will start texting them again, right? So, we're connecting the dots between texting and calling, and that's why we're gonna package the 2 products together. Keep going.
Yeah, and like the fact that in the middle of an AI text conversation, if there's a certain signal, AI can call instead of continuing in the text conversation. I mean, that's what I've trained my agents to do for years. So the fact that AI is able to do that for our users is fantastic.
So this is a big improvement we're making to AI texting. Basically, in the past, we have only been able to text leads in your database that have become behavioral triggers, meaning they have come back to the website to look for properties, right? As part of our AI calling initiative, we have done massive due diligence into TCPA, right? And we've come up with guardrails to understand what are the leads that we can text, what are the leads that we can call. And what we realized is that based on that standard, we're able to text and call your leads a lot more than we thought, right? We're being very conservative in our approach. And so we are introducing the concept of basically drip texting, your leads with AI, right? So based on tags that come through the system, tags that you can apply yourself, right? You will be able to restart the AI texting process, right? So a lot of what you're doing with third parties, I won't name names, that are doing drip texting on your platform, you're able to do the same thing on our platform, at a fraction of the cost, right? And it comes with AI in terms of the conversations that are being had, right? One big utility of this is we're partnering with, easy home search. We're going to work off of Fellow. We're going to work off of Real Scout signals. So even if you have other platforms that are creating signals based on the tags that are being generated, Barry and Gabe are working with those external partners to build out drips specifically for each of their scenarios, right? So even if you're leveraging other platforms, as long as they're integrating the Follow Boss, as long as they're producing tags, we will be able to trigger based off those signals as well, right? So we want to extend the power of texting, not just for your database, but for all of the tooling that you use, Rooster, et cetera.
Yeah, we're reintroducing this because like when we did it last time, there was, there weren't enough parameters. So now I feel like we have enough infrastructure to where, our users are going to know when they can use AI start versus when they can't. And as this comes out, we'll have training and processes for all of them to make sure that they're doing it in a way that's both compliant and doesn't mess them up as far as their business is concerned.
Yeah.
Barry, can you
in terms of when it's coming, I mean, it's probably going to come out for, I would guess, Gabe, Easy Home Search first, because that's our first partner that we're working with. Then kind of release from there, right? So it's actively in the wild right now.
Yeah.
Yep, working on it now.
So we had some users ask to share the QR code for the marketing consultation. And so we wanted to, in your absence, Josh just blew everybody away and they want to meet with him. So basically,
but this is his personal link right here.
Yes. Yes. So make sure you guys scan that QR code. I'll do it for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go.
Thomas is asking on the AI database, portal leads. When will it be available for portal leads?
Yeah, portal leads are built into the release of AI database. So we'll be able to work all Zillow, Realtor, Ylopo, and we're going through the diligence of looking at old sync leads, Boomtown leads, Sierra, et cetera. So we're going to be able to work pretty much most sources that have TCPA compliance.
Awesome. And I'll put the link. Somebody just asked to show the slide again. I'll just put the link in the chat, just make it easier. Oh, wait, no, that's a link to the image. Oops.
Let's see, check it here.
All right, I'll just share my screen again. That's fine. All right, here's the image again.
Yeah, highly encourage you to do this because, you probably haven't looked at your marketing mix, and we can come and tell you, and we should say, hey, we think we can generate you more sellers in this way. We think we can generate you more leads in this area. It's just always good to be talking with a marketing team and, making sure your mix is in the right place. If you want to spend more money on sellers, you can. There's just so many different options, right? I'm sure Josh shared, we're seeing a lot of success on social right now. People kind of write it off, but we're seeing just as much homeowner and seller activity coming on Facebook for a fraction of the cost of Google, right? So you guys should talk to your marketing consultant and, try different things out.
Yeah, and somebody just asked to show this AI texting improvements, and then we'll end it. But yeah, really exciting. As I said to you guys before we started this, one of the reasons why you're a Ylopo user is because we're always in the lab, we're always innovating, and not only are you getting leads, but you're also getting a really robust brain trust of leaders in AI and digital marketing. And this webinar once again showed it. We haven't stopped, and we're not stopping. G can't help it. Anyway,
love it.
Fantastic. Sounds good. Have a great day, everybody.